Hey, deep divers, ready to unravel the mysteries of Binance Coin? We got a whole stack of articles and research here, so get ready for a deep dive into BNB, from its humble beginnings all the way to its role in the crazy world of crypto.
I think what's really interesting about BNB is how its story is really tied to the rise of the Binance exchange.
Oh, for sure.
It started as like a simple utility token, but now it's like this big player in their whole ecosystem.
Yeah, I'm hooked already. So let's just start with the basics for anybody who might not know. What actually is Binance Coin?
So Binance Coin, or BNB, is the native cryptocurrency of the Binance exchange, which is one of the biggest crypto exchanges, globally.
Right.
Think of it as the fuel kind of that powers a lot of Binance's operations. In the beginning, it was designed to just offer like discounts on trading fees,
Okay.
but its role has like really expanded since then, as we'll see.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Can you take us back to the very beginning? Like, how did BNB even come about?
All right, so picture this. It's 2017. The crypto world is like super hyped up. Binance launches its initial coin offering, right, or ICO. Now, here's the thing. BNB was initially sold for just 15 cents per token.
Wow.
So it's a pretty good deal for early investors.
Yeah, I can only imagine. So what did Binance do with all those, all that money that they raised? Did they have a plan for BNB in the beginning?
Oh, yeah, they were strategic from the start.
Okay.
They put a lot of that money towards developing and improving the Binance platform, like their exchange. They knew that marketing and branding was like super important,
Right.
and that really helped them blow up as fast as they did.
So was it tied to Ethereum at the beginning, right? Can you explain that a bit?
Yes. So BNB began as an ERC20 token, which basically means it followed Ethereum's rules,
Right.
on their network, like a common language that lets it work with other tokens and applications on that blockchain.
Okay, that makes sense.
But then Binance went and launched their own blockchain, so
Yeah. Can you walk us through that transition? Like, how does BNB work in that new environment?
of course. So in 2019, Binance launched their own blockchain called Binance Chain initially. And, they got rid of the old ERC20 tokens for their new native BNB coins.
Okay.
And later on, they merged that Binance Chain with Binance Smart Chain, and now we have what's known as BNB Chain.
Gotcha.
And this new chain is like super optimized for trading, right, on-chain. And it's the backbone of Binance's decentralized exchange, or DX.
Wait, hold on. DX, can you break that down?
Yeah, sure. A decentralized exchange is basically like a peer-to-peer marketplace. Users can trade like cryptocurrencies directly with each other,
Right.
without a central intermediary like a traditional exchange. Think of it as like a more open and transparent way to trade crypto.
I like that. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So where does BNB fit into all this then?
So BNB is the gas, right? It fuels the transactions on BNB chain. Like you need gas to, drive your car. You need BNB to pay for transaction fees on BNB chain.
Okay.
And also, it's important to note that BNB chain is actually made up of two chains.
Oh.
There's the BNB Beacon chain, which takes care of governance and staking. And then there's the BNB Smart chain, which is like compatible with the EVM and supports smart contracts and dApps.
Right, right. Okay, that's starting to make a bit more sense now.
Okay,
But you mentioned burning coins earlier. What is that all about?
so Binance has this thing. It might sound weird at first, but they buy back BNB coins from the market and then destroy them.
What?
Yeah, permanently. It's called burning.
Okay.
Their goal is to eventually burn 100 million BNB. That's like half of the total supply.
Whoa.
It's a pretty big deal.
Okay, I have to admit, that sounds a little bit crazy. What's the logic behind that?
Well, it's all about scarcity. You see, by reducing the number of BNB coins in circulation, they're hoping to increase the value of each remaining coin. Think of it like a limited edition artwork or a rare collectible. The fewer there are, the more valuable they become.
Ah, okay, so they're essentially manipulating supply and demand.
Exactly. It's like playing the long game.
Interesting. So are there any risks associated with this? Could it backfire somehow?
That's a good question. While burning coins can, boost the price over time, it also reduces how much BNB is actually available to trade.
Oh, I see.
So, if there aren't enough coins out there to buy and sell, the price could become more volatile in the short term.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And it's not the only thing they're doing. They've also got this BNB Pioneer Burn program, which is actually pretty cool. It reimburses users for BNB they've lost, like if they accidentally send it to the wrong address or something.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So we've talked about trading fees and blockchain and burning these coins. Seems like BNB is used for way more than just discounts these days, right?
Oh, for sure. As Binance has, grown beyond just the exchange, the applications for BNB have grown too.
Okay.
It's not just trading anymore. We're talking a whole ecosystem, decentralized exchanges, different blockchains, peer-to-peer trading, borrowing, lending platforms, and even things like NFTs or even the metaverse.
Okay, I think I see where you're going with this, but can you give me some concrete examples? Like, how are people actually using BNB?
Okay, so obviously you can still get those fee discounts on Binance if you use BNB.
Right.
But beyond that, some merchants accept BNB as payment. Like imagine walking into a store, buying your coffee with BNB.
Wow.
And then some people are using it to like buy virtual gifts, participating in online lotteries, even investing in stocks on
Wow.
certain platforms. You can even use it as collateral for loans.
Okay, that's a lot. It sounds like BNB is like everywhere.
Right. It's not just a simple token anymore. It's part of this whole financial ecosystem.
It really is.
Yeah,
So we've got this whole ecosystem growing, and BNB is like the fuel.
exactly. That's one of the things that makes it so interesting, right? The more ways you can use it, the higher the demand, and that can influence its value.
It's like they're building this network effect where the success of one part helps the other parts grow, right?
Precisely. It's like this positive feedback loop. The Binance ecosystem grows, and the more useful BNB becomes, the better it is for everyone.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've laid a good foundation here, but let's be real. When it comes to crypto, people want to know about the price. How has BNB's value changed over time, and like what's made it go up and down?
Oh, you're absolutely right. Price is what usually gets everyone's attention.
Totally.
And BNB's journey, it's been a wild ride.
I bet.
Like most cryptocurrencies, it's been super volatile. You remember how it started at just 15 cents back in 2017?
Yeah.
Well, its market cap has gone up to over $70 billion. And the price, it's gone above $600 at times.
That's incredible. So it's like super volatile. Do you think that's because of BNB itself or just the general crypto market being crazy?
It's both, I'd say.
Okay.
BNB is definitely influenced by like the overall market sentiment, but it also has its own unique features. And of course, whatever happens with Binance itself affects it too.
So it's this mix of things happening both inside and outside that makes the price go up and down.
Yeah, pretty much. And while we can look at what's happened, trying to predict what will happen with crypto is, well, it's tricky.
It really is. Okay, so we can't really predict the future, but we can look at things that might influence it. And one of those things is regulation, right? Can you talk about the scrutiny that Binance has faced from regulators and how that's affected BNB?
You got it. So the world of regulation, it's constantly changing.
For sure.
Binance, like other crypto companies, has to navigate this like web of rules and regulations that are different everywhere.
Yeah.
And in 2021, things got really intense. For example, in the UK, the FCA, that's the Financial Conduct Authority, they basically ordered Binance to stop all of its regulated activities in the UK because they didn't have the right authorization.
Whoa. Were other like similar actions in other countries too?
Yeah, definitely. They had issues in the Can Islands, Japan, Malta, the Netherlands, Malaysia, even Thailand.
Wow.
Malaysia even filed a criminal complaint against Binance for operating without proper authorization. It was not a good time for them.
Yeah, that must have been like a super tough time for Binance.
It was.
Trying to manage all those hurdles. Did that have a noticeable impact on the price of BNB, do you think?
It's hard to say for sure. Crypto reacts to everything, and news about regulation can definitely move the price. But isolating the impact of any one event is really difficult, especially in crypto, where everything's so connected.
Yeah. I imagine people just like panicking,
For sure.
right? If they think Binance is in trouble, they're going to sell.
Absolutely. Fear, uncertainty, doubt, we call it FUD, and it can spread like wildfire in crypto, and that always hits the price.
So it's a balancing act for them, right? Trying to manage what people think while dealing with regulators, all while trying to keep innovating and growing.
It is. It's a tough job.
I can't imagine. But thinking back to the BNB burning mechanism we talked about, could that actually help with the price when things like this happen?
That's a really smart observation, actually. The burning mechanism could act as a sort of buffer against the negative pressure when bad news hits,
Right.
because they're constantly reducing the supply, so they're creating a support level for the price, a kind of safety net.
So they're battling like the forces of supply and demand.
Exactly.
On one hand, you've got potential selling pressure from like regulatory concerns, and on the other hand, you've got this constant reduction in supply through burning. It's a fascinating dynamic.
It really, and remember, this burning thing is a long-term strategy. It's not going to make the price skyrocket overnight.
Right.
But over time, it can lead to a more stable and potentially upward trajectory.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get the hang of this now. But, Binance isn't the only crypto exchange out there. How does BNB compare to other exchange tokens? Like, what are its pros and cons?
That's a key question. The crypto exchange space is a jungle.
Oh, I
It's
bet.
super competitive, and new platforms are always popping up, and a lot of these exchanges have their own tokens, similar to BNB.
So what makes BNB stand out? What are its strengths?
Well, the biggest one is the sheer size and power of the Binance exchange.
Right.
Binance consistently ranks at the top globally for trading volume and users.
Yeah.
So that gives BNB a huge advantage right off the bat. It's like having a built-in network, a strong foundation to build on.
Yeah, success breeds success.
Right.
But beyond that, like beyond just Binance, what else?
Well, the depth of the Binance ecosystem is a big factor.
Okay.
We've talked about how they're expanding into things like DeFi, NFTs, even gaming.
Right.
It's not just about trading on a central exchange anymore, right? They're building this whole universe of stuff that uses BNB.
So it's this whole approach of creating this like multifaceted ecosystem
Exactly.
where BNB powers everything.
Exactly. At wide range of uses is a major strength. The more you can do with a token, the more people want it, and that demand can drive up the price.
It's like they're creating a system where everything feeds into each other.
Yeah, they're building a virtuous cycle, right? The Binance ecosystem grows, BNB becomes more useful, it's a win-win.
Okay, that's super interesting. But are there any downsides? Every project has its weaknesses, right? So what are the challenges facing BNB?
You're right, every project has its challenges, and for BNB, one of the biggest is regulation.
Right.
We already talked about that.
Yeah.
As long as governments around the world are still figuring out how to deal with crypto, there's always a risk of new rule that could hurt Binance, and that means BNB too.
Makes sense.
It's something a lot of crypto companies are dealing with, not just finance.
It's a good reminder that these rules are always changing.
Yeah.
And who knows what'll happen in the future, but besides regulations, what other challenges are there for BNB?
Well, the crypto world itself, it's so dynamic. Things are changing all the
For
time.
sure.
New technologies, new competitors, it's never ending. So Binance has to stay ahead of the game and keep innovating. They can't just sit back and relax. They need to be constantly pushing boundaries.
It's like they're running a race where the finish line keeps moving.
Exactly. And another challenge, maybe a bit more subtle, is decentralization.
Okay.
It's one of the core ideas behind crypto. The power isn't concentrated in one place. And some people in the crypto community have criticized Binance for not being decentralized enough.
Oh, interesting.
They know about this, and they've been taking steps to become more decentralized, but it's a difficult balance to strike.
I see. So they need to embrace this idea of decentralization while still running this huge, complex business effectively.
Right. And that's something a lot of crypto companies are struggling with as the whole industry grows up.
Yeah.
But, if Binance can do it, it'll be a really big deal for them. And it'll be good for BNB too.
So it's a reminder that the world of crypto is still young.
Yeah.
There's so much experimentation and innovation happening, and it's all changing so fast.
And that's what makes it exciting. We're literally watching a new financial system being born, and BNB is right there in the middle of it all.
Yeah, it's definitely a story worth following. So let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. What does BNB's story tell us about how crypto is evolving?
That's a really interesting question.
Yeah.
I think it reflects this bigger trend in crypto.
Okay.
In the beginning, it was all about digital currency, right? But now we're seeing a whole ecosystem of applications and services being built using blockchain technology.
Right.
Crypto is going from just a way to exchange money to becoming a fundamental technology for a whole new way of doing things online.
So it's like crypto is growing up, maturing,
Exactly.
and BNB's journey from a simple token to this multifaceted asset in a vast ecosystem is a great example of this.
It shows how crypto is becoming a part of our digital lives,
Right.
changing the way we think about money, technology, even society itself.
Okay, that's amazing. We've covered so much in this first part of our deep dive into BNB.
We have.
From its origins to the technology, the challenges, and all the possibilities. But there's still so much more to explore. And in our next segment, we'll delve deeper into the future of BNB and how it could shape the crypto landscape. Stay tuned, deep divers, because the adventure continues.
I'm excited.
Me too.
It's amazing how Binance has handled all these regulatory issues.
Yeah.
Not just survive, but really thrive.
Totally.
I think their willingness to adapt and work with the authorities has played a big part in their success.
Yeah, I completely agree. It shows they're serious about responsible growth, which, let's be honest, isn't always the case in the crypto world. But I'm curious, how has all this regulation affected BNB? Did it cause the price to go crazy?
That's the thing about crypto.
Yeah.
It's so complex. News about regulation can definitely move the price.
Oh, for sure.
But it's really hard to pinpoint exactly what causes what.
I bet people get scared, right?
Of course.
If they think Binance is in trouble, they're going to sell their BNB.
Exactly. That's what we call FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And it can spread like wildfire in the crypto community. and that always affects the price.
So Binance has this balancing act,
Yeah,
trying to manage their image, deal with regulators, and keep innovating all at the same time.
it's a tough job,
I can only imagine. But we were talking about the BNB burning mechanism earlier.
right?
Could that help with the price when there's all this negative news and stuff?
It could, yeah,
Okay,
because they're always reducing the supply of BNB.
right.
It's like they're creating a safety net for the price.
So it's like this battle between supply and demand.
Ex-
On one side, you have people selling because of bad news and regulation, and on the other side, the supply is constantly going down because of the burning.
You got it. It's really fascinating how it all works.
It is, and to think this burning thing is a long-term strategy.
Right, it's not about quick profits.
Exactly. Okay, so we've talked a lot about BNB and the Binance ecosystem, but let's zoom out for a second. Binance isn't the only crypto exchange out there. How does BNB stack up against other exchange tokens? What are its strengths and weaknesses?
That's a great question, because the crypto exchange space is super competitive.
I bet.
New platforms are appearing all the time,
Yeah.
and a lot of them have their own tokens, just like BNB.
So what makes BNB stand out from the crowd?
Well, the first thing is just the sheer size and power of Binance itself.
Right.
Binance is constantly ranked among the top exchanges globally.
Yeah.
It's got huge trading volume and a huge user base. That gives BNB a massive advantage right from the start. It's like, having a head start in a race.
Yeah, it's true. Success breeds success.
Exactly.
But besides that, what else makes BNB special?
Well, the breadth and depth of the Binance ecosystem is a big factor.
Okay.
They're not just a centralized exchange anymore.
Right.
They've expanded into DeFi, NFTs, even gaming, all these different areas that use BNB.
So it's this whole approach of creating a multifaceted ecosystem.
Precisely.
And BNB is at the heart of it all.
Exactly. And that's a huge strength. The more you can do with a token, the more people will want it, which can drive up the price.
It's all connected like a web.
It is. It's a virtuous cycle. The Binance ecosystem grows, BNB becomes more useful, and everyone benefits.
I like that. But I'm sure there are downsides too. What are some of the challenges BNB faces?
Well, like we talked about before, regulation is a big one.
Right.
As long as governments are still figuring out how to regulate crypto, there's always the risk of new rules that could hurt Binance.
Right.
And by extension, BNB, it's a risk for everyone in the crypto space.
It's a reminder that the regulatory landscape can change quickly.
It can.
What else is on the horizon for BNB? What other challenges do you see?
Well, crypto is constantly evolving.
Yeah.
It's incredibly dynamic. New technologies and competitors pop up all the time. So Binance can't just stand still. They have to keep innovating and pushing the boundaries.
It's like that race with the moving finish line, right?
Exactly.
Got to keep running.
You got it. And another challenge is decentralization.
Okay.
One of the core principles of crypto is that the power isn't concentrated in one place. And some people have criticized Binance for not being decentralized enough.
Interesting.
They're aware of this, and they're working on it.
Okay.
But it's a tough balance to strike. They need to be decentralized, but they also need to be efficient and effective in running their business.
I see what you mean.
It's a challenge for a lot of companies as the crypto industry matures.
Yeah, it makes sense. So it sounds like crypto is still in its early days, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Still a lot of experimenting and figuring things out.
Sure.
And BNB is right there in the middle of it all.
That's what makes it so exciting. We're seeing a whole new financial system being born.
Wow, that's crazy.
It is, and BNB is a big part of that.
It is a fascinating story for sure. So let's zoom out even further now. What does BNB's journey tell us about the evolution of crypto itself?
That's a great question. I think it shows us how crypto is changing.
Okay.
In the early days, it was all about digital currency, right? Just Bitcoin and a few others.
Right.
But now we're seeing all these new applications and services being built using blockchain technology. It's not just about money anymore.
Yeah, I'm starting to understand that now.
Crypto is becoming this fundamental technology that's changing how we do things online.
So it's like it's growing up, maturing.
Exactly. And BNB's journey from a simple utility token to this multifaceted asset is a perfect example of that.
It really is. It's showing how crypto is becoming more and more integrated into our lives.
Absolutely. And it's changing how we think about money, technology, even society itself.
So BNB is more than just a token on an exchange.
Right.
It's part of this bigger picture, this movement.
Exactly. And it's exciting to see how it plays out in all these emerging trends like DeFi.
Yeah, tell me more about that. I'm really fascinated by DeFi.
So DeFi is short for decentralized finance.
Right.
And BNB Chain has become a major hub for all things DeFi.
Okay.
There are tons of DeFi protocols and applications being built on it. That's because transactions are cheap and fast on BNB Chain,
I see.
which is attractive to developers and users alike.
Makes sense.
And BNB is being used for all sorts of things in DeFi, like providing liquidity to decentralized exchanges, yield farming, taking out loans against your crypto.
Wow, so it's like a whole new financial system.
It is one that operates outside of traditional banks and institutions.
That's incredible.
It is pretty amazing.
BNB is more than just a way to pay for things. It's being used to create these new financial tools and opportunities.
Exactly, and it's not stopping there. BNB is also making big waves in the world of NFTs.
NFTs, okay, I'm listening.
NFTs are those unique digital assets that are exploding in popularity.
I've heard about them.
They're changing the art world, the gaming industry, collectibles, everything.
Wow.
And Binance has its own NFT marketplace where you can buy, sell, and trade NFTs using BNB.
So BNB is the currency for these digital assets.
That's right.
That's so cool. So artists and musicians and creators can use BNB to make money from their work in a whole new way.
That's exactly it.
It's amazing how BNB is finding its way into all these cutting-edge spaces. What about the metaverse? We talked about that earlier. How do you see BNB fitting into that world?
Well, the metaverse is still pretty new,
Yeah.
but it has the potential to be huge for crypto.
Okay.
Imagine virtual worlds where you can buy and sell virtual land, start businesses, go to concerts, all powered by blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies.
Whoa.
BNB could be a major player in these virtual economies. It could facilitate transactions, power experiences, even represent ownership of virtual assets.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. It's like a whole new universe is opening up.
It is. It's pretty exciting to think about.
It is, but it's also a bit daunting, right? Trying to wrap my head around all these possibilities and how crypto, like BNB, could be a part of it.
I get it.
It's a lot to take in.
It is, but that's what makes the crypto space so amazing. It's constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible and making us rethink how things work.
Hook, that's for sure. But we've covered a lot of ground in this segment. We talked about regulatory challenges, the competition, and BNB's role in DeFi, NFTs, and the metaverse. I'm really excited to hear your final thoughts on the future of BNB in our last segment. So stay tuned, deep divers. We're not done yet. Okay, wow, that was amazing.
Right.
The metaverse, DeFi, it's incredible how much potential BNB has.
Yeah.
It's come a long way from those early days. It's just a discount on Binance, right?
It really has. And it's amazing how the team behind BNB has kept pushing forward.
Yeah.
They could have easily just stopped there, but they didn't.
Right.
They've always been looking for new ways to make BNB relevant.
It's like in the crypto world, if you're not moving forward, you're falling behind.
That's a great way to put it.
But with all this talk about the future, I want to know what you think about the big picture. What does BNB's story tell us about where crypto is going?
It's a great question. I think BNB's journey is like a mini version of the whole crypto story.
Okay.
It shows how crypto is going from this niche thing, this digital currency for a few people, to something that could change everything.
Wow.
Industries, economies, even our daily lives.
So we're watching a new digital world being born, and BNB is right there shaping it.
Exactly. And that's what makes this so exciting, right? We're not just watching history happen. We're part of making it.
That's pretty amazing. But of course, with all this potential, there's a lot of uncertainty. So as we wrap up our deep dive into BNB, I want to leave our listeners with one last question. What are the big trends or developments that you're paying attention to when it comes to BNB and its future?
Well, if I could predict the future, I wouldn't be here.
Right, we'd both be on a beach somewhere.
Haha, exactly. But seriously, there are a few things I'm watching very closely.
Okay, tell us, what's on your crypto radar?
First of all, regulation is going to continue to be a huge factor.
Yeah,
What governments do will have a big impact on Binance, BNB, and the whole industry.
for sure. It could make or break things.
Absolutely. And I'm also really interested in how decentralized finance keeps growing. BNB Chain is a big part of that already.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
And I think BNB will become even more important as DeFi matures, as more people start using DeFi tools and services.
So you think traditional finance is on its way out?
Well, that's the idea behind DeFi, right? People having more control over their own money.
That's exciting and a little scary.
I know. But we can't forget about the metaverse either.
Right.
It's still early, but it could completely change how we interact with technology, with each other, with everything.
It's like a whole new universe is opening up.
It really is, and BNB could be a big part of building the economy and the social structure of these virtual worlds.
So BNB could be the currency of the metaverse.
It could be, and that's just one possibility.
It's mind-blowing to think about.
It really is.
It feels like we've only just begun to understand what's possible with BNB and with crypto in general.
I agree.
This deep dive has been incredible, exploring its origins, the technology, the challenges, and all that potential.
It has, and the story isn't over yet.
I have a feeling the next chapter is going to be even more exciting.
I think that's it.
So to everyone listening out there, stay curious, keep exploring, and keep learning. The world of crypto is full of surprises, and BNB is sure to be at the forefront of many amazing things to come.
Remember, the future is what we make it.
That's a great point. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Binance Coin. We hope you learned a lot and maybe even discovered a passion for the amazing world of crypto.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep diving deep.